Our liberty depends on the freedom of the press, and that cannot be limited without being lost. Thomas Jefferson, January 28, 1786.
One of the key protections of the First Amendment is freedom of the press, a freedom guaranteed by prohibiting the government from exercising prior restraint, censoring a work before it is published. The prohibition of prior restraint was tested in 1931 in Neer v. Minnesota. By ruling against a state law allowing local courts to stop publication of any periodical determined to be a nuisance, the Supreme Court extended the ban of prior restraint to the states. Upholding such censorship, the court ruled, would be but a step to a complete system of censorship. Yet prior restraint was not completely forbidden. The court allowed prior restraint in cases involving national security. Issues of national security and prior restraint were at the forefront of the famous 1971 Pentagon Papers case. When a former Pentagon employee gave copies of secret Vietnam War documents to the New York Times and the Washington Post, and they were subsequently published, the federal government received a court order prohibiting further publication. The landmark ruling was the first of its kind in U.S. history. But the victory was short-lived. When the newspapers appealed in New York Times v. U.S., the Supreme Court ruled that the government had not proven that publication would threaten national security, and the newspapers were allowed to continue to report the story.